Okay, let's do a test and let's see how it looks like analyzing some games that play Blitz. So that's a couple of Blitz game I played today, 45, 46. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Okay, let's start. A4, C5, A46, D4, CD4, and D4, NFS6, and C3, and C, this is always in book, F3. Okay, whatever, it's still book. Queen B6. Now, what I'm the logical idea would go B3, that would be logical continuation, but I'm afraid that it can take here. I didn't know what to do in these cases. Now the answer to this is knight b5, threatening, of course, knight c7 check. Now the strongest continuation here is for like knight d4, and this does not prevent the check. Knight c7, king d8, and then I have to if I go knight e8, then the queen has the check on c3, which is unpleasant, and which means now let's see. I didn't actually check knight e8. Oh, not even worse, not even bad. Is a blunder, because then there is knight c2, and there is only one move, king f2, and then there is the discovered check, and in the end it is black now that wins. So that's why after knight c7, king d8, to prevent knight c2 check, and then white is to take here, and so now the next move is now the rest, the black must take away king, and white take the rook, and that's the advantage. What can else do instead? Nice, if you want to prevent the check on c7, and for instance, to seem to the idea to go to knight d8, king d8, sorry. But white, the strongest, but white in this way can trap the queen. It goes on a3. Now it would seem that, for instance, queen b, that actually no, because the a3, the purpose of a3 is blocking the retreat of the queen to b4. Now the queen cannot escape back to b4. Now now, for instance, now whatever white black does, like for instance here there is a proposition being a reasonable boom, bishop d7. Now what the knight c6 would be a good idea. Okay, knight c6, bc6, bishop. Okay, for instance, like this, the idea is to bring the bishop to d4, then like this, bc6, or make it to the pawn, it doesn't make sense. And now the bd4, and now the queen has no escape, nowhere to go, and is trapped. Now, if for instance after a3 the black answer to h5, right, it's a mistake that there is a because the proposition is going to bc4, and with the idea of probably it's the same idea. I mean that probably the queen is not going anywhere, so it's just this time. Yeah. Now this RB1 is possible already. The queen is trapped again. Okay, so just to go, then that's why after b3 the taking on b2 for the queen is not a good idea, because then there is knight cb5, and with all alternative with the risk of either getting the queen trapped, or after a3, or getting the check on the knight check on c7 and losing the rook on e8. That's why be3 is a possibility. Now, on the other hand, when playing here I was something that I wasn't sure, so I play bishop e3, I play knight b3 just to make sure to avoid well, actually not to make him the life easy, because I cannot go bishop e3 as well. Now the answer, black goes bishop e6. Now this allows a very interesting idea in the end, is that it would be possible to go knight d5 here, and now the queen would have to go back, because of course taking here is a bad move, because I just have the fork, and if I go just take with bishop, if I take the bishop, well, actually it's not as bad, of course. Now you have to go here with a knight, which is actually seems playable, but still a bad position for white. Now the proposition is going h4, for instance. Well, but not after b6 I decided to go bishop d3 with the idea of well, first to develop the bishop, then black goes g6, queen a2, bishop b3, b3, now e5. Now h5 is a mistake, and then bishop e3 and d3. Now attacking the queen, of course, and then the black, which is probably d3 is decent, but not the best move. Now, but still, now is a very good position for black, for white. Now I was wondering if it's already possible to go knight d5 at this position, but this would be a mistake. Knight d5, e5, and well, of course, what a stupid proposition. Knight d4 threatened the queen, so I mean I have to move the queen. So either queen to 2 or queen f2. Queen f2 is decent, still keep the advantage for white. Now knight h5 is really a blunder. Now what is going? Now this allows, this would allow knight d5, that is actually correct. Now the threat after this is the push is c3, because the knight on d4 is pinned. So the queen should now go back, but still after bishop take d4, e4, there is this check, and white loses the queen. So this doesn't really seem that a very good move, but on the other hand doesn't seem to have a good move. Why doesn't just why, for instance, why not this? what would be now bishop d4, and now if takes, now there is still check. There is check, and now this check, there is this situation. Now, of course, if black takes, there is the check here, so there is a lot of interesting tactics that's very difficult to see in this game, but very interesting. So the queen is still in a problem. Now going here doesn't take the pin away, and of course this would allow c3, and of course this is already, now the black loses the knight at least. So the continuation, bishop g6, takes. Well, and I mean, just go on, and white is a piece up and a lot, and still threatening again the check on b5, that we know that, and a lot of other things. So there is the rook on c1 maneuver. So, well, instead white goes g4, which well, like makes d4 now. Now this is still would be good for white. Now of course this just suggests bishop d4 and knight d3, cd3, ed4. Okay, and now it still would be a very good position for white. Now white still there is a threat of the idea of c7. Now b4 is problematic for black. Now black has to go here, for instance, and white takes here. There's the problem of the king the rook is under attack, and of course we cannot just, the bishop cannot just put in g7. So f3, f6, sorry. But well, still there is not good an answer for that, because of course if you just move the rook, you just take the check and you lose the rook. So b4 would be good now, and f6 doesn't really. It still actually says is winning for white. Now is just because you can go back, and your mate loses the castle, and you go king d7, and you actually here it seems to me that can you still play b4? Well, now b4 is still good now. Queen b5 is now playable, because there is not a check on the knight check on c7. So then you can go. Well, that's a lot of options here now. Now suggesting king h4. I'm not sure with what idea. Okay, that's a very interesting maneuver, but I think that there are a lot of good options here. Now I liked more the idea, the king d2 idea. Is still more an intuitive move. What is here is okay. So now show lines. Okay, can more show. No, not self analysis. Show lines. Okay, so I mean, where was a b4, queen b5, down king there, is still good, and yes, because there is also this possibility, but still it doesn't actually create any problem. Well, and actually the white position is still the best one. Now after g5, g5 is a blunder, it says to me, but it doesn't actually. Well, I mean, now there is a queen b4. Is annoying, but let's see. Let's see how it goes on now. But still, I can play knight d5, go back with the line I described before. Now h4 is still now hg5. Now, of course, I cannot take because the queen, the rook takes h1. So at this point, I still have the check on knight d5, but going this way that means that I just lose here now. G4. Now it's interesting that now I get the opportunity again to go back to the check, to do the check here, and still win this game. But after the move here, e4, rook a4, just there is a check here, and then it's game over. Of course, I have to go back, takes, and then I'm a rook down, so pretty much now it's over. Okay, that's something to learn here, of course, that we'll see if playing blitz is going to help my game now, or play analyzing game. Not sure about it.